Talking about so. We got it. Detroit, Michigan. Talking about so.
When we went to England a couple months ago, we thought it was going to be a little tour, and we got there and it was just, everything was sold out and everyone wanted to do articles and photos and everything. NME wanted to put us on the cover of the magazine, and we said no. We heard so much about England can make you popular and they'll hate you 6 months later, so we just said no, we don't even want that attention. You know? Just want to go and play shows. So they ended up putting us on the cover anyway. You could have worse problems, I guess.
When I hear your lips make a sound, when I hear your lips make a sound, 30 notes in the mailbox will tell you that I'm coming home. And I think I'm gonna stick around for a while so you're not alone, for a while so you're not alone. Fall. You can hear me coming down the hall. Just hear your pretty voice. I don't think I need to see at all. Don't think I need to see at all. Some hair in a velvet tongue. I want to give you what you give to me. And every breath that is in your lungs is a tiny little gift to me. And a tiny little gift to me.
Arthur? Arthur, are you here? Yeah, yesterday I had a bunch of interviews to do on the phone, and I just had my roommate do them all. He does interviews for me every once in a while. He'll just do them for me. It's great because it's great to read that article afterwards. It's the answers I would never have given. It's usually the same questions over and over again. You know.
Like what?
You know, what's it like to be from Detroit? Why do you guys dress in red and white? What does the name the White Stripes mean? How long have you been on sympathy for the record industry? When did the band form? You know, it's just all over and over again the same things.
I didn't feel so bad till the sun went down. Then I come home, no one to wrap my arms around. My arms around. Well, any man with a microphone can tell you what he loves the most. And you know why you love it all. You're thinking of the Holy Ghost. You're thinking of the Holy Ghost.
The White Stripes are the Beatles of the Detroit scene, and the Dirt Bombs, I like to think of us as the Rolling Stones.
Joe Louis Arena Station.
This was the original Ford Motor Company plant. This is where all the Model Ts were made and some of the Model As. Now it just sort of stands empty and full of paperwork. Too late, I think, Detroit realized that our economic base was entirely on automobiles. And by the time we figured it out, it was too late. There has been nothing to take the place of all of the automobile factories closing. And so we've been very The unemployment rate is very high, and we've been very economically depressed. That, in fact, may have a lot to do with why we take our entertainment media so seriously in Detroit. Detroit is the 10th largest city in America right now, or 14th largest, I think. But we have the 5th or 6th largest television viewing demographic of any city in America, which reflects very badly on, you know, the amount of time we have, free time we have on our hands.
Standing on the high street, looking so sweet. Motor City girl won't kiss on my feet. Greasy and mean, she looks like a dream, yeah. Motor City girl won't be my queen. You're hot like a Cadillac car. I wanna ride you up to the stars. Good God, with me, come shining over my Motor City, baby. Motor City, baby. Motor City, baby. Motor City, baby.
A lot of the bands that everyone equates with the Detroit music scene, they have a sort of an R&B or a soul bass, but they're playing it loud and punk rock-ish. But Detroiters have been doing that forever, basically. You know, it's nothing new to us to play soul records fast and loud. We've been playing music fast and loud as long as there have been amplifiers. It doesn't matter what kind of music it is. This was the Gold Dollar. This was Detroit's premier small venue for bands. Every band in town played this club at least once. It only closed recently, about 6 or 8 weeks ago. It was very, very small, but it was the sort of proving ground. Usually in Detroit, there's maybe 30 to 50 people who come out and see you because we all know each other. You know, again, being all these bands, we all know each other. So whenever you're going to see a band, you know that you're going to see people you know. There's a long-running joke in Detroit that the typical Detroit rock band is somebody you know, somebody you know, somebody you know, and a drummer.
I'd like to think that we're part of a folk tradition in some sense, you know, because of the storytelling and melody, that kind of songwriting. Even if it's rock and roll and it's loud, you know, whatever, it still feels like folk music.
I'll get you a chord.
You know, there's a lot of garage rock bands from Detroit that
New Frets.
we're a part of, and that's our family, you know, so don't want to ever disgrace that or anything. If one band or a couple of Detroit bands get more successful, it just helps everybody else get a little bit of attention that they never would have got in the first place, you know. Maybe it's a bad thing if someone names it a scene and it becomes some sort of hip scene or something, because that won't last, you know. So, but maybe if it's just a little bit of attention, just to know that there's good rock and roll bands from the town, that would be good.
I put myself to sleep at night. I put myself in broad daylight, 'cause I'm 'cause
We're going to Ghetto Recorders now. This is where a lot of the bands that everyone in Europe knows about as far as the Detroit scene goes. This is where a lot of them record at or mix their recordings at. This is Jim Diamond's studio, yes.
What we usually do is we'll do like the drums, bass, guitars all at once, and then overdub the vocals. But we'll try to get as much as possible all at the same time. I think everyone being able to see each other and play in one room like they're used to rehearsing is really important. Yeah, I think there's something really small missing if they're not looking at each other, and it takes away from the performance.
Love. Hey. Hey.
I like bands that can come in and just play the music and do the music right, where they have good performances and good songs, and not just, well, we can fix it all later, or we'll take the first chorus and just put that over the whole song because that one's perfect. You know, I think that's kind of silly. Yeah, you gotta have, yeah, I mean, it's playing a song. You wrote a song, you should be able to go out and play it. And it's pretty simple.
Detroit has always sort of just been busted up and doing our own thing for a long time, but now it's really sort of coalesced into this thing where people are helping each other. We're booking shows together, and you know, and especially with the success of the White Stripes and other bands, local bands like Jim's band, the Dirt Bombs, are having terrific success when they go on tour. Everyone's kind of encouraged by that, and it just sort of perpetuates that momentum. But really, all anybody wants to do around here is rock. If we were really going to dig and start going into what makes the White Stripes so wonderful, and they are, I would say that probably the fact that they've sort of manifested their own mythology, which has just boggled the minds of these people in the media, both here and abroad, who are used to having everything conveniently packaged for their disposal. You know, Jack's not interested in that, and he, you know, just like he makes a stink about signing autographs or doing any of that other rock star stuff, it's because he really means that. And just like the rest of us, he would like to be able to retire from, I think Jack was doing upholstery. He'd like to not do upholstery anymore. We'd all like to not do what we do for our day jobs anymore and do music all the time, but he's not willing to sacrifice his integrity to do it.
Fall is here, hear the yell, back to school, ring the bell, brand new shoes, walking blues, climb the fence, books and pens. I can tell that we are gonna be friends. I can tell that we are gonna be friends. Walk with me, Susie Lee, through the park and by the tree. We will rest upon the ground and look at all the bugs we found. Safely walk to school without a sound. Safely walk to school without a sound. Here we are, no one else. We walk to school all by ourselves. There's dirt on our uniforms from chasing all the ants and worms. We clean up and now it's time to learn. We clean up and now it's time to learn. Numbers, letters, learn to spell, nouns and books and show and tell. Playtime we will know the ball. Back to class, through the hall. Teacher marks our height against the wall. Teacher marks our height against the wall. We don't notice any time pass. We don't notice anything. We sit side by side in every class. Teacher thinks that I sound funny, but she likes the way you sing. Tonight I'll dream while I'm in bed, when silly thoughts go through my head about the bombs and alphabet. And when I wake tomorrow, I'll bet that you and I will walk together again. 'Cause I can tell that we are gonna be friends. Yes, I can tell that we are gonna be friends.
And sort of be in my own little bubble about the music and my experiences with it.
This is our family's house we grew up in, and we do a lot of recording here too. We did our second album, Distill, here at this house. And a lot of bands, when they come in town, they'll stay here and rehearse here and record here. So it's nice to have a couple houses in Detroit where everyone can congregate and record and play music at.
You also feel obligated to draw attention for other Detroit bands?
It feels good to take another Detroit band on tour with us, you know?
Well, I mean, it's nice to be able to, you know, mention them and maybe, you know, give them a little bit of help, you know, because they deserve it, you know.
What makes you stand out?
I don't know. I guess you have to ask our fans that.
One thing was that we had the opportunity to actually quit jobs and go on tour. A lot of Detroit bands don't get to do that.
Maybe it's just
That's a luxury, you know. And since there's only two of us, it has made it easier. Like she's saying, it's easier to make money and to live off it when there's only two people splitting that up, you know. So it's easier for us to go on tour because there's not that much equipment to take with us. You know, we could do it in a car, and if we got $100, it makes more sense than if 5 guys got $100, you know. Things get bigger and things get handled differently. What can you do, you know? If you want, it just comes down to a question, you know, do you want to load your amps in and do you want to sell the records yourself after the show at the stage, or do you want someone to sell the records the whole time the show's playing, you know? Well, if you want to sell the records the whole time the show's playing, you got to take someone with you to sell the records, you know? And you got to take their dog and their cat that are coming with them and their grandmother, they're going to want to come too.
But I would be afraid to lose control?
I don't think so. I don't think it'll be that. I don't think that this band is ever going to be that big, you know. It's only for 2 people to get even this attention. That's pretty amazing, a 2-piece band from Detroit to get some sort of attention like that. So I don't think it's ever going to be big, like we're going to be playing arenas or anything like that. It just couldn't, you know, you can't. We don't write songs that are going to be, you know, top 40 hits or anything like that.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him just because you can. Your beauty is beyond compare, flaming locks of auburn hair, with ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. Your smile is like a breath of spring, your voice is soft like summer rain. I cannot compete with you, Jolene. And he talks about you in his sleep, and there's nothing I can do to keep from crying when he calls your name, Jolene. You could easily take my man, but you don't know what it means to to me, Jolene. Well, you could have your choice of man, but I could never love again. He's the only one for me, Jolene. And I had to have this talk with you. My happiness depends on you, and whatever you decide to do, Jolene. Not begging of you, please just take my hand. Jolene, 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 Jolene. Please don't take him, even though you.
In any other musical scene, you know, the bands all sort of sound alike, they dress alike, they do the same things. And in Detroit, that isn't really the case, you know. We don't separate high energy from anything else. For us, it's the only kind of music, you know, high energy, or it's, you know, or it's Chopin. People have speculated that it's because of the sort of monotony of the auto plants, or it's the isolation, or it's, you know, the weather, or it's the proximity to Canada. Everybody has their own little pet theory of why we like our music to be loud, loud and hard. It's just how we are.
It's been such a long, long time since I felt that love was mine. First time love has made me play with fire. Oh, I want you, I need you, I love you, baby. Such a long, long time since I felt that love was mine.
Yes, XX. This here's the Gories from Detroit, hot off the press. It's gonna jump on you, baby, and it's gonna stain your dress.
You know, a lot of my my fame and notoriety that I have now, that comes all from the Gories, and it all comes pretty much from Europe, because in America we were never very popular, we were never very big. In Detroit, the Gories were just another band, you know, and a very bad one at that, actually, because we were voted the worst band in Detroit once or twice there, so.
I met Mick, and Mick had been talking about doing a band, so got the Gories together and did the Gories from '86 until '91.
Oh, you sound like a fat lady at a Jane Fonda aerobics workout.
After the Gories broke up, I was real, you know, kind of down, and she thought up this idea of having an all-girl band and having me be a girl in the band with her, and I thought that was a great idea, you know, because I'd already been dressing up here and there, you know, and was really into clothes and all that, and she had this name, the Demolition Doll Rods, and I said, wow, that's a great name, you know. Dolls are beautiful, and rods have strength, you know, so it was like beauty and strength, and we were just demolishing everything that came before and just coming out and just, you know, getting up there and just doing it.
Yeah!
I like music that's real driving and really raw and really primal and just gets right to your gut. That's the beauty of it, is like it's finding that balance between the innocence and the wonder and the streetwise and tough, because if there's too much of one or too much of the other, it just is one-dimensional. But if you bring both in and you have a balance, then it's more intriguing, you know?
All of our foibles and all of our flaws and all of the things that make it a big city, nobody glosses over them. There's not the money or the time or the manpower to turn this into a pretty nice city like maybe San Francisco. Nobody gives a damn. I mean, I'm sure you guys have looked around here. There's basically, we're living in the midst of lots of urban blight, lots of poverty, and that hasn't changed. But there's a beauty in its decadence and in the will of its people to just, you know, overcome all of that and carry on. And I think that idea is what the rest of the country, when they look at Detroit, that's what they hold in high regard. It's like they see that we don't have a lot going for us around here. We don't have a pretty ocean or palm trees. We got lots of broken concrete and burned up apartment buildings, and we have the problems that a lot of big cities have, but it's beautiful, really. It's like decadent Rome.
It's Italy Records is what it's called, and I was just trying to put out cool Detroit bands. I don't know, just putting out records that no one else was putting out. Well, I did the first 2 White Stripes records. These are repressings of them, and they're everybody's favorite nowadays.
How do you select the bands?
I usually it's after a bunch of beers, and they go on, and see, I mean, you know, I used to be at the Gold Dollar. Now, hopefully, it'll be someplace else. But I have just enough beers in me to think they're really great, and ask them if they want to do a single, and usually they'll say yeah. So that's how it happens.
And how do you pay for it?
Well, my father passed away like in the early 90s and left me some money. So that paid for the first couple, and then now I just got to kind of wait to get money back. That's why it's been so far between releases, because up until now it was, like I said, like 10 orders every 2 or 3 months. And hopefully I'll be able to put out more now, like quicker.
So the White Stripes turned you into some sort of businessman?
Yeah, I've had to repress them. I never thought I was going to repress anything. I thought I was just going to have a closet with about 700 of each of these, you know, in 20 or 30 years. I could show my kids or something. Yeah, I wasted a bunch of money on all those. But yeah, the White Stripes, Jack is getting me. Yeah, I've had to repress these twice already. And Jack recorded like half of the records or played on them, so those all sell now too. I don't really, it's amazing.
This is Arthur Dotweiler. He's managed us for a little while.
No more though, right? Gotta eat him and all the other people.
No, you're still our manager.
They had a offer from the Gap. That what I was not called about.
We got an offer from the Gap to be in a commercial for. They offered us $1 million, and we said no because we didn't want to be. It was a Christmas commercial, and we said no, we didn't want to be in it. Anytime
holidays are a very big
if
time.
Arthur, that's the problem we've always had. I mean, that whenever a decision came up about this, I mean, the first thing you hear is dollar signs, and you don't think about any other kind of integrity. And you think, wow, the Gap. I just saw the Gap commercial yesterday, so yeah, you guys should do it. You know, would Donnie and Marie have done that? All right, maybe they would have done that, but this is different. You know.
You guys are not Donnie and Marie. You think you're Donnie and Marie? Do you have your own network, primetime television? Do you guys have Donnie and Marie? You know who they are? Donnie and Marie were an act in the 70s of a family act in a similar situation with a brother and a sister, but they had a network primetime variety show every week. Hard workers, not this, let's just do our own thing, which is fine for you. You're not Donnie and Marie. You are not Donnie and Marie. You will never be Donnie and Marie, and that's a good thing.
You know, if you're gonna, I think when someone's asked me what's a manager supposed to do, I think number one is you're supposed to support the band. That's the first thing you do.
And I have.
Every time we start talking, you just keep going on about this thing. You're not the Carpenters. You're not Donnie.
Who wanted
Marie.
to get Megan drumming lessons when she wasn't hitting the and you with the singing again?
What is wrong?
What is that? What is that not supporting?
What's wrong with my singing?
You're taking care of your instrument. Do you ever take your guitar in to get fixed?
Yeah, we just picked my guitar.
You see Michael Kuntz over there?
Yeah.
You tell him I said hello?
No.
I introduced him to Michael Kuntz.
We didn't
He's
say.
a friend of mine.
We forgot.
You take that there, but you don't give a shit about your vocal cords. When's the last time you got your drums in for an overhaul?
I don't think that's the point. I don't think it's. We're not. You know, this isn't like pop music. We're not. Everything's supposed to sound perfect when we're on stage. I mean, everything. It's okay if my voice is a little bit groggly. It's not gonna ruin everything.
Sounds great right now. Sounds great.
All right, Arthur. Thanks a lot. You know, we just tried to include you a little bit in this, and you know,
I
you're going off on a
appreciate it.
tangent.
I appreciate it. I enjoy their music. I think he's a hell of a songwriter. I think she's a great drummer, and I think they work well as a tandem. But as far as getting, you know, dancers or a horn section, I don't think they should do that yet. I think they should hold off on that whole thing. Have you guys been talking about that anymore?
We talked to some other people.
We're actually talking about the Ice Capade show.
The Ice Capade. We were talking about. We'll tell you about it later, but
I just think that these kids are all what is good about Detroit and what is bad at the same time. What is good about it is the talent. What is bad about it, it's a little raw and it needs some massaging, you know?
Every time, it's like every time. Is this not every time we have a conversation with? It's just nothing's good enough for you. Like it's always this. You got to try to perfect it. If it keeps going on like this, Arthur, you know we're not going to talk to you anymore.
Have a good time. Have a great time. Superstars. They're going to be, I think they'll be good, but they need somebody to be tough with them, and I'm working in conjunction with some of their other handlers right now to do that, and it's kind of the old, you guys know what a good cop, bad cop is? I'm the bad cop, and I like it, and I'm not afraid to be a little rough with them.